Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm the audiologist here at Audiology Associates. We upload new earwax removal videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 PM UK time, so please consider subscribing. Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our video today. So we have another earwax removal video. Just one patient in this video because it was quite a big extraction. So this gentleman's come through with very reduced hearing on both sides. Hasn't had his ears cleaned out for quite some time. So what you can see is this very dry looking wax in this ear canal, so a couple of little softer pieces around the outside edge, but mostly just very dry wax in here. So what we're doing is using the standard size ulnar tube here just to try and loosen this wax up, break it down a little bit, basically trying to unpeel it. You can see it just unsticking from the canal there at the base. So we're just taking away all the pieces around the outside edge and just very slowly working our way. You can see round in a circle, unsticking everything as best we can. Because obviously if we can unstick all this, then it's going to mean it's going to be a lot easier to get this out in much larger pieces. We can stand a better chance of getting this out that way. So just taking away this last bit that's sticking it to the canal on the left hand side. There you go. So working our way to the top now, just pulling down from the top. You can see there is some hair embedded in this, which is going to hold the wax, bind it together, especially if it's drier wax as it is here. You can see as we're trying to pull this forward, the hair is holding it together, but the difficulty is when you've got the rear piece of wax is very, very stuck to the canal walls. As you're trying to pull this front section away, to get to that rear section, because obviously I want to unstick that rear section as well, that the hair is binding it into that more secured section at the back. So that does become a little bit more problematic. There's not a great deal you can do as far as getting the hairs out of the wax. You've just got to kind of keep working at it. If you use something like crocodile forceps, what tends to happen with this type of wax, although it would give you a much better grip, as you pull it just pulls some of the hairs out, but you don't get, so you're constantly going in and grabbing little tiny clumps of hairs all the time. So if you can stick with the suction, it tends to work a little bit better, and then use the crocodile forceps almost as a bit like a last resort, really. So what you can see me doing here now is I'm trying to avoid the front section of wax, because obviously I know that's quite firmly bound to this rear section. So I'm trying to lift the wax so I can get to this rear section that's really stuck to the canal walls. So just lifting from right to left there, and trying to aim for this little valley look at the bottom. That's where I'm aiming for there, is just to try and get into that section, because that's going to make a massive difference if we can unstick that bit. There we go. So just unsticking from the left side now. Just very gently maneuvering and teasing this wax out. Now I can start to see part of the eardrum, so I can see that this wax has actually collapsed down on itself now. So we can start to draw this out. I can aim much further back, like you see on the wax, to try and get a better grip further in, to try and unstick this rear section as well. So I'm trying to keep this together in one piece if I can. You can see it's really wedged in there. So I've put a little bit of olive oil in now just to try and reduce some of the adhesion to the canal wall. So what I'm going to do is wiggle this wax around, work that olive oil down the sides of the wax, down to the base, try and really get it down the side so we can unstick it and reduce the tacky sides of this wax, so it reduces the adhesion to the canal wall. Oop, a little bit of olive oil's gone on the camera. That's the only downside of using olive oil, especially with an endoscope, is sometimes when you put the olive oil in, it'll stick to the cilla, it'll blur the camera, so you really get a poor view, which is why sometimes with narrow ear canals it's not the best idea to use it, just because you're going to end up pushing the camera through blobs of olive oil all the time. So still just working this down, managed to get the olive oil down in there. It's moving a little bit more now, you'll see. quite at home in here, this piece of wax. It does not want to come out. So as a last resort, we're using the crocodile forceps. We've managed to get some good bit of grip now we've used the olive oil, and there we go. There's that chunk. Okay, so when we take a look in here, I can see there's actually some wax there still at the base of the canal, close to the eardrum but not touching it. So we're gonna just work that out. So just very gently. It's not really an ideal amount of room in here, so we're just going to use the fine end now just to tidy up this last piece. Always difficult to get these last pieces away just because they're hidden down behind the valley. So we kind of work on what we can see and lift. I can see this is probably one piece because it's got this little bit of white dry skin embedded in there as well. So I think if we can get a good enough grip and lift one section, which you can just see starting to come away now, then it should bring everything else with it. There, so we've got a leading edge. We can see we've unstuck this one section. Just broke away. So the right hand side is still in there, so we're just going to go and get that bit out next. But we've got a good leading edge above that little bump in the canal there. There we go. You can see the eardrum looks a little bit white, a little bit dull. It's a bit of thickening of the skin of the eardrum there. So this is the second ear of the same patient. Very different consistency of wax on here. So this is a much softer wax on this side. So you can see a lot of this is just disappearing straight up the suction tube. I personally find this type of wax is probably the most one of the most difficult ones to remove. If it's the different ends of the spectrum. If it's very soft or very hard, it tends to be a little bit more difficult. You want this kind of like a Goldilocks zone of wax in the middle where it's not too hard, not too soft. So this is a lot of this is just getting sucked in the machine. At the moment, you can see it's very difficult when you're suctioning with very soft wax like this because we can't see the canal wall. So at the moment, I'm trying to stick to the center of the wax. Normally we would be pulling this in from the sides and kind of working along the center to remove it. But you can see it's very soft wax with lots of hair embedded in it. So I'm just working down the center at the moment and then just gently teasing what I can in from the sides, but trying not to get too close to the canal walls or where I think the canal walls are. So you can see it is all peeling away here and coming away from those canal walls quite nicely. We've got this central hairy section. Now I can just start to see a bit of the canal wall. I want to try and get rid of some of this hair because there's a lot of hair in this central section. Can you see what I mean about it? Just pulling clumps of hair out. This is the difficulty with using the crocodile forceps on this kind of softer wax. But because it's so soft, I need to try and get a good suction grip. Those hairs are stopping me from doing that. So I've just gone in to remove a few of them, which will allow me then to get the suction tube onto the wax rather than sitting on a bed of hair on the top. Because if I can get it onto the wax, it means that I can get the good suction grip and be able to take this away. So I've managed to maneuver it now. I've unstuck it from the right canal wall. So just trying to work on the crocodile forceps because you can see it's a slightly harder consistency now. It is pulling this forwards, but just taking another big clump of hair out. So because it has moved it forward slightly, we can go back in now with the suction. You can see it's a weird consistency. It's got kind of softer bits around the outside edge, which is what I'm working on here. Harder sections in the center. There's a little bit of dry skin there as well coming forwards now. So we've got everything in here, but it's trying to maneuver this past this second bend here. So sort of first bend of this on the way out to the canal. There we go. So taking a piece away there has brought the wax a little bit closer to the outside edge. There we go. Now we're starting to get to the outer part of the ear canal. So we've got it wedged now in the outer part of the canal. You can see trying to maneuver it out with the suction, but it's just not really going anywhere because it's so soft and sticky. So we're just going to go in now with the Jobson horn. There we go. Got a bit of tidying up to do. This is remnants of where that wax travelled down the canal. There you go, just taking a couple of little pieces away there. There we are, and there's the drum. Also looking a little bit dull, a little bit of thickening of the skin. This is what we removed. You can see there's little bits of hairs all jutting out on there. But yeah, quite a difficult one to do, that one.
Thank you very much for watching our video today. If you did enjoy the video, then please like. If you're not subscribed already or you'd like to do so, you can click the subscribe button here. If you'd like to check out some more of our videos, they're also up there. Now, if you want to follow us, you can do on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also check our website if you want to know a little bit more about us. As always, guys, until the next time, take care.